And a one. Yes, we did the countdown and now we're on television.
Good evening, America. Welcome to the shenanigans.
The shenanigans that is known as higher thought. It's your boy Mobe.
And Nayday.
Mobe and Nayday on Higher Thought. We are live. It is March, 22nd?
Yeah, it's the 22nd or something.
Well, I am actually getting ready to make my 35th revolution around the sun.
God love you, son. You
Yeah.
survived this long.
I know. How about that? Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? So, yeah, we've got a big show here today, as usual. Even on a slow news week, a slow fake news week.
Right. Oh,
we bring
God.
you the real fake news here.
Or the fakest real news. It
The fakest
depends
real
on,
news you're ever going to get in
right.
Acadia.
Somebody has to do it, and we're the ones.
Right. Well, I mean, we're under attack, so when are people going to start standing up for themselves? We got to take on the man and the system, right? Yeah.
Can we kick them in the balls?
Can we hit them, below the belt, maybe?
Below the belt.
It could be a woman
below the
nowadays.
belt.
It could definitely
that's
be a
right.
woman.
Well, wouldn't that be a
so-
cunt punt?
Well,
No,
but we're
I'm
not
sorry.
going to fight things
No,
their way.
no.
I mean, we're going to fight their war with peace. We're going to fight their hate with love. We're going to fight their lies with truth, and their division with togetherness, and their idiocracy with knowledge.
Okay,
That's
wait.
what we do.
Okay, wait. Let me get my feet up off the floor because the bullshit's getting deep. Okay.
We're deep. We're neck deep.
Idiocracy? Yes, we are right in the middle of a Mike Judge movie. We
Well, I would agree.
just need trash piles.
Where
3
there's
stories
been a lot
tall.
of hate and division,
Yeah.
and war, and lies.
and-
So
encouraging us to be stupid. Thank you, Betsy DeVos.
idiocracy, yes. Well, and I mean, it just trickles. It's a trickle down effect, and that's all we'll say about
That's
that.
the only kind of trickle down that works.
I know, other
Is this
than-
shit rolls downhill? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just want to remind you folks that parental discretion is advised.
Absolutely. TVMA, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
TVMA.
indeed. Well, I mean, we strive to be good role models, but it's just role models in a revolutionary sense.
I've changed my hairstyle so many times now. I don't know what I look like.
That's revolution.
Life during wartime, Talking Heads.
Yeah.
How can you go wrong?
Well, and I guess it seems like there's been war on the home front here with all of the shootings and now bombings.
Yes.
thank
That
you, good sir.
sad little white boy who was depressed. He was shunned.
Yeah.
Nobody liked him. Fuck that. I'm sorry.
Just terror, I tell you.
It's just he's a terrorist.
Well, I mean, if you're blowing people up, then...
Blowing people up at random, wouldn't you call that?
Or even just blowing yourself up in a public place. That would qualify.
Oh, now, okay.
I mean, do you think he
blow
gets the
yourself up in a
72 virgins or whatever?
No, but blowing yourself up in a public place if you don't hurt anybody else, that's kind of like the Buddhist monks who self-immolated during the war.
Well,
I mean, as a form of protest.
it seems like his family was shocked. I thought it was kind of interesting that...
He was such a quiet guy,
Yeah,
such
he
a
was
nice
a
neighbor.
computer
He
geek.
was a good boy.
Right.
Right.
And when the media showed him, it looked like basically they showed his high school pictures when he was much older now.
Oh, not the Pee Wee Herman arrested in the porno theater picture?
No. It kind of looked like that, huh?
Yeah. With the goatee, right? Scraggly hair.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess, there's just been it's been the narrative. The kids are educated about the Constitution now, and they care, and they want our guns, to
Yeah.
be...
Cold dead hands, baby. Cold
Sure,
dead hands.
without a doubt. I guess we can talk a little more politics stuff. I thought another interesting story was the whole Twitter feud with Joe Biden.
Oh my God! Let's go back to kindergarten and
It really
just
is. Like,
bullshit.
it seems as though we have a bunch of kindergartners
Right.
on in the White House, in Congress, and
Okay.
just representing us in general.
Joe Biden was the only one who didn't make himself rich while he was in office.
Right.
No, he unlike other elected officials who'd been in
Like
office forever, who
President
became
Obama cleared $10 million like his last year of his presidency.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's a
on
chunk
a
of cheese.
$400,000 salary. That's pretty good,
Well, you got your side hustle. Everybody got to have a side
Got
hustle.
to have the side hustle.
But,
he hooked up Big Pharma.
He hooked up a bunch of people.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Well, if George Bush was big oil, then,
Right.
he was definitely big pharma.
Right, because they got to get paid.
Well, with the health care bill
Sure.
and, taking over the opium fields.
Why else would we go into Afghanistan if
Without
not
a
to
doubt.
take over production of opium? Heroin. Hello, junkies.
Well, and even the people, not only heroin, but even the doctor-prescribed pain medicine,
Yeah,
with the
Oxycontin
Percocets
for
and
all my
Oxycontins.
friends.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
I got
there's
back pain,
an
Doc, I
opioid
swear.
crisis going on here.
Yes, but Jeff Sessions is following the Donald's lead and calling for the death penalty for these drug dealers. Does that mean we get the pharmacists? Do we get the
Right.
pharmaceutical companies?
The doctors that
Do
get
we
paid
go-
for writing these scripts.
Go all the way up the chain to the CEOs of Big Pharma? I mean, they're the
Yeah.
kingpins of this operation.
Or even the companies that like put all the GMOs in your food that lead to like all of your bone degeneration and pain causes, essentially. So,
Okay. Well, no, GMOs. I mean, think about it. We have been genetically modifying organisms,
sure. We're all becoming X-Men.
but we breed cattle to exist in the environment we live in. If you live in the north of the British Isles, your cattle are short, stocky, got little bitty legs. If you're in
Have you
Texas,
ever bred cattle?
not personally, but
Well, you've been home with a fat girl, though.
oh god. Okay.
Hey, we love
Yes,
more love.
everybody
Right.
needs love.
Everybody needs love.
Hey, especially-
But how about Joe Biden saying he beat the hell out of Trump in high school for disrespecting women? Okay, like and these
That's-
geriatric
yeah.
like Twitter people. I mean,
I'd like to see it. That'd be the best pay-per-view on TV. I think that would blow WWE.
I mean, they could call WWE
Yeah.
up, maybe get a little WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Trump versus Biden. Like they can have a wrestler kind of wrestle for him. And
You know what? Let's bring back dueling.
Dueling,
Just
yeah.
slap them. You have sign the legal forms.
or jousting even.
Dueling's better. Dueling's better. Jousting, you got horses and stuff. It gets
Right, just give 'em
complicated
a
and
sword.
expensive. With dueling, you take 2 handguns. You put 1 round in each. Good luck.
Well, Biden said that Trump is the fattest, ugliest SOB in the room. And Trump responded by saying that this was Biden's second threat of assault, and that if Biden ever went after him, then he would go down hard.
Go down hard.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know Joe.
Apparently,
swung that way.
like Stormy Daniels.
Exactly. And Sunday, 60 Minutes, Stormy Daniels' story will be broadcast.
A little free ad there for you.
Well,
60 minutes,
if you
yeah.
really want to know what the Donald likes,
Well, if you really want some good stories, well, then you should watch 56 Minutes with Higher Thought.
exactly. Because if it's not true, it will be by the time we're done.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. The realest fake news on TV in Acadiana, folks. We appreciate all our viewers out there. We know you're probably just getting home from work, making some dinner, doing the dishes, making the kids go outside and play.
No, you make the kids do the dishes while you go outside and play.
Okay.
See, it works.
Maybe you just got back from Anytime Fitness. I don't know, wherever you go.
Right.
But
Make sure
right
you
now,
call in.
You're flipping through, and then you see us. Oh, yeah, you remember us? Hi. And turn up your TV, check us out.
Oh, let's
give
get
us a
turned
call.
up.
Let's turn up. It's almost Easter holiday.
Oh, spring break is coming, baby.
Yep, and a week sooner for some schools in Iberia Parish, actually, the spring break is next week.
Exactly.
Whereas in Lafayette Parish,
It's the week after,
the
right?
week after Easter.
Right,
So if you have mutual friends in those areas, they might not be able to hang out over the break.
Well, maybe you
It's very
stagger it to
sad.
keep. So you can either have more parties
More parties.
because spring break is staggered over 2 weeks.
It might just
or-
have to be some after parties, like for
party
Iberia Parish people,
Right.
and hey, Lafayette Parish can get an early start on the partying.
That's right. Go to school Monday morning hungover.
Because I think everybody's ready to have their break. Everybody's ready for summer already.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, I mean, I guess all the testing and the rigor of everything, well, you know, just take it out of everyone.
Well, testing is coming soon enough.
Surely. There's more testing to be had.
We must test our children.
Of course.
Do we test them for stupidity, or is that
Well, I think a lot of those tests measure that.
Okay.
Facebook privacy concerns. This Cambridge Analytica had a data breach. 50 million users basically had their information sold. Yeah. But yeah, basically they have this thing that kind of spies on you that predicts and influences your vote by like putting certain articles in your feed and stuff like that.
Really? That's interesting.
And it said that they were bribed and blackmailed. They bribed and blackmailed people during the Trump campaign.
No.
Yeah, it's very sad.
They were no.
But is this just another thing to where we get more government regulation on media?
Either that or just don't put your personal business out on Facebook.
Well, right now it is a free-for-all, as we're seeing with like the Biden and Trump thing. You know, we've got our president acting like a kindergartner.
My life's better than your life.
And
my life's better than yours.
it's true.
I got photos that I
millionaires.
put on Facebook. My life's better than yours.
And no sense of real connection,
No.
you know, or togetherness, or
Wait, thoughts and prayers?
thoughts and prayers. There's even an emoji for that now.
Is there?
I believe so.
I heard that there was like a new ASL sign for thoughts and prayers.
It's like, I think it's the hands together.
Oh, okay. I was confused. Maybe I got bad information.
Do you know why choir boys have their hair parted down the middle?
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
Because, bless you, my son.
Oh! Just don't. God.
How about Putin?
How
he
about
was reelected again for a 6-year term
Oh,
in
Jesus
Russia. He
And
said
only
that Russia's under attack
76%. Oh, Jesus
and that they
Christ.
need a strong leader to survive.
Then how come they're whitewashing the whole communist period post World War II? It's like all the stuff they emphasize is the defense of the Nazis, and then all of a sudden it's the emphasis of retaking Crimea. What about that chunk in the middle?
What about
When
the
things
history?
sucked. Mm-hmm. Of course, now that there are oligarchs, things suck.
Well, and I mean, we're rewriting the history now, you know. I mean, in World War II, we were viewed as the saviors and the good guys. And now, if World War III were to happen, you know, where do we stand in the moral side of this, you know, world takeover with us pretty much occupying the entire world?
Oh, God. Let's just go home.
Let's go home.
Let's go home.
Let's go home.
Let's just tell some of those people that it's been nice, but
Imagine all the people.
do we have to?
Yeah.
I mean, because if we
It
imagine
isn't hard
them-
to do.
I know, but they're going to be naked and fat and ugly, and then it's going to
true.
gross me
It's
out.
true. Well, I mean, like sometimes when you're nervous, or like when I'm nervous before I come on the show, I'll just like, you know, picture the janitor out there and that's wiping the floor. You know, the older lady. You know.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I was
I'm
thinking
just
more
playing.
of
I'm
one-
just playing.
I'm thinking more of sentient Arcturian cauliflowers.
Well, and I mean, it's good that we have our First Amendment rights still, especially here on AOC, because in Spain, rappers can actually go to prison for insulting the king or even in any way kind of glorifying terrorism.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we call the king fat and ugly in our rap, we're going to prison?
Well, just imagine of all the rappers talking trash about Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like that song. Fuck Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, we're not supposed to say that.
The
we were quoting the song.
Yes,
you know.
absolutely. It's just a song title.
Okay. You got to worry about, I don't know, I guess just, once again, freedom of speech. I mean, I don't know necessarily what their freedom of speech stance is in Spain.
Right.
You know?
I mean, they do.
but-
Every country has its own set of social
Right.
norms and rights. Oh, but if you want to talk about social norms and rights, YouTube is going to be censoring channels.
Good segue.
All of the gun channels have been demonetized, and they're going to start deleting videos that they feel are Inappropriate?
Right? And
Inappropriate.
I'm sure they probably have a government sponsor that's running.
I'm
that
sure there's a
division.
minder somewhere.
Right.
Kind of like a
FCC
political
kind of
officer
thing,
that they
sure.
had on the.
Well, and I mean, they've probably gotten all kind of government money and subsidies to.
Well, somebody's got to pay for all that free shit, the stuff that's
Right.
there.
Without a doubt. Well, and they got Super Bowl ads and.
Do they?
Oh yeah, because they have YouTube TV now. Basically, it's like $40 a month or something like that, and you get like all the channels.
But
on
why?
YouTube. Because people want to watch TV, but they don't want to pay for cable.
Okay. But aren't you paying the cable company for internet access in the first place?
Essentially, yes. Or the phone companies.
Or the phone company, right. DSL?
Depends.
Right, that's a damn slow line.
Well, damn slow line. Well, but I mean, the phone companies do the Wi-Fi now too, as far as like AT&T or.
Right, Wi-Fi as opposed to gigabit internet,
Surely.
Ethernet, right. Okay.
Let's see. They're moving to facial recognition in airports, and they already have that in Europe. Pretty much like, they can find you anywhere, based on your facial recognition.
Yes. I mean,
it was something that started in the States here as far as just they used it in restaurants.
why
and in
would they use it in
casinos.
restaurants?
Just so they can remember old customers. It was like in fancy restaurants, I guess. And like it could get your order, like know what you have.
Right.
And-
Now, casinos I can understand, especially if people have been banned for cheating or
Sure.
whatever, that you would use that as a way to make sure that you've weeded out the bad actors.
Well, sure, and I mean, you're mentioning some like technology that people are eventually going to have to use some of this technology to combat other technology.
Right. There are hats that are available that have light emitting diodes. Some of them emit in infrared. Some of them emit in this weird pulsing thing, which caused the CCTV cameras to glitch.
See, and I remember back in my day, we just put some aluminum foil on our head.
Yeah, but then you got to wrap it all the way around because otherwise the emissions come out the bottom.
Oh, very true.
Now they got makeup. If you want to buy makeup, you can do the weird
Or
little...
plastic surgery.
Well, just wear a V mask then. I mean, because
Or that.
I don't want to be any uglier than I already am.
Exactly. How about the GOP wanting to spend $1.3 trillion?
And only to carry us to September.
Yeah,
What
or
the
else we're going to get a
fudge?
government shutdown.
Please? Please?
Yeah, let's just shut down federal
Okay,
government.
and when we shut them down, senators don't get paid, congressmen don't get paid, the Trumpster don't get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
they
sorry.
gotta get paid.
Don't get paid. That's just bad English.
Don't get paid. Well, it's higher thought.
I know.
You-
They should not get
we
paid.
are not prescriptive grammarians here. We're descriptive,
I could describe some grammar for you.
without a doubt.
Yeah. There's a lot of four-letter words that they won't let me use, though.
There's also a lot of talk on tariffs.
Tariffs.
Tariff.
Yes. You know who pays the tariff?
I passed the tariff,
But I did not shoot no deputy. Right, yeah. Anyway,
Go somewhere else.
the customers pay for the tariff. Oh, you charge the Chinese company, but what do? They jack the price up. They pass it on to the
Chinese
consumer.
people. And they're probably making deals with each other so they can jack up
It's
prices
that back
on.
scratching.
Right. Hey, let's just jack up prices since we're totally screwing over our citizens, anyways.
You know they did that. They busted some generic medicine companies for doing that very same thing, price fixing. That was just a couple of weeks ago. That fell out of the news.
Yeah, corporate corruption falling out of the news. Well, you never would think that
No.
because you
No.
never think the corporations actually run the news, right? All of the,
Oh, News Corp. Wait a minute.
all the
Hello.
local news stations, they just happen to be reporting on the same thing, like
With the
all
same
across
talk-
the country.
With the same talking points.
The same talking points, basically the same little PowerPoints. Same videos, same footage,
Well,
other than your local stories, of course.
or people like us.
Right.
Growing big as a house.
And I don't know, I think this is about the last thing I had in politics. The Trump lawyer resigned.
Oh, yeah.
John
Trump's personal attorney. Yes.
Yeah, which I guess is the guy that maybe paid off Stormy Daniels, maybe?
I don't think he's the same one. I think he's
It's
the
not
one
the
that's
same
just
guy?
been defending him in general.
Seems,
Especially against Mueller. Because since what's-his-face quit, What the heck
Well,
was his
I
name?
mean, to the people that are pro-Trump, it's like, I can understand how you maybe think Trump has had some decent policies, but this guy is just so unpresidential, and he just lacks the elegance, I think, that a president needs.
He speaks more poorly than we do.
More poorly, yes.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, and I mean, he tweets.
I mean, unless he's like
he
smoking
tweets like a
dope and drinking all
child,
day long.
And it's just like there's no accidents in politics, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, all of this stuff is planned out, and it's basically we get the politicians we deserve.
Oh.
It is what it is.
Brutal. So, did we pay the companies that put that twat in place, or did
No,
he rise up
allowed
because
it to
we
happen.
are so inept at managing our
We've got our
social
heads so
consensus?
far up our ass that pretty much,
Okay.
we let it happen. Because, 150 years ago, our forefathers, like our great-grandfathers would not have put up with this crap.
No. Oh, no.
There would have been, a revolt against the government had they been pulling a lot of the stuff that they do now. And Trump would have been out of office a long time ago. Pretty much all of our last 5 presidents would have been out of office a long time ago.
Bring back dueling.
Dueling.
Right. I mean, Trump.
I challenge you to a duel.
Trump runs his mouth at somebody, slap him with the freaking glove and say, "Dawn, the front lawn."
Trump, you listening? Give us a call. Actually, I had Donald Trump on the show one time.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Was it during wrestling or was
It was
it
during Halloween.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that scares me. That scares me.
Yeah. So that's on YouTube. If you're interested in the channel, it's just search YouTube, Higher Thought. It's usually about like the second or third thing that pops up.
Yeah.
I think they have like some neuroscience thing that was talking about higher thought.
Yeah,
Well, it's more popular than our show.
No, you got to play with the brain. The brain's such a tasty organ.
Well, it is. It is. Let's see. So, moving on from that, how about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? You
Oh
mentioned
my
this.
God, the garbage patch.
Why don't you let people know what the Garbage Patch actually is?
Okay, there is a circular current in the Pacific, and somewhere between Hawaii and the coast of California, there's this dead zone where all the crap accumulates.
Due to the currents.
Due to the currents, right? Because it's always just flowing around and around.
trash from the landfills and other places.
And we're talking about greater than 60,000 square miles.
60,000 square miles.
2 times the size of the state of Texas.
And
Of garbage.
most of it is plastic. Plastic. We are the plastic generation. And there's almost more plastic than plankton in the water. It's almost become a plastic stew for the fish to eat. And
Well,
they
are we going to
and we consume the fish.
push adaptation to where there are certain fish that can live on plastic?
Well, I think actually companies are making points to have like biodegradable, like soda can connectors,
Right.
Different plastic bottles that you can recycle or something. I don't know, just different technology. And they have trash picking up devices. I've seen like the little trash boats
Right.
that scoop up
That
the trash.
scoop the trash up. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you talk about plastics, believe it or not, a lot of items that we consider plastic are actually made from potato starch. If you go to the fast food restaurants, those weird tan-colored utensils are made from potato starch. They actually degrade naturally.
Well, and that's good.
I call that a win.
Or if it's like something
Too
that
bad
animals can
Too bad they
consume.
wax all the paper and put aluminum foil on it, because that stuff won't degrade.
Well, sure. And I mean, like even if it's something that like animals could eat, like a paper bag that an animal can.
Well,
digest.
my dog ate a burger wrapper once, and it was like tinsel.
Yeah, my dog's eaten the burger wrapper before too. But when you leave the burger out on the table, and the burger was so good,
Right.
can you really blame them for
Right.
wanting to eat the wrapper?
You get what you deserve.
All right. You get the dog you deserve. Let's see. How about Denver? In Denver, a school district is moving toward a 4-day school week. Basically, they're going to be going to school on Tuesday through Friday, and they're going to add 1 hour to every day, and go from 8:30 to 4:30.
Why?
I guess because they figured 5 days was too many days of school.
In Oklahoma, they've been at 4-day weeks for quite a while now because they can't afford to pay their teachers. They can't afford to keep the utilities turned on.
The utilities, right.
There are
That's another
teachers
point.
that have to have a second job.
So you save money, and you have a 3-day weekend every week. You're not as burnt out.
Bonus time,
Yeah.
baby. I'm good with that. That way Monday becomes Tuesday.
Exactly.
I
Monday
could-
becomes like your chill day,
Yeah.
like your Sunday.
Yeah.
Like do your lesson plans, whatever.
I could live with that.
I could live with it as well.
An extra hour and change a day.
How about Pennsylvania, the first state to permit medical marijuana research? Because it has been banned federally prior to that as far as doing medical research for it.
Is this a new law, or is this just a celebration of the fact they were the first to do it?
Yeah, the first state to permit medical marijuana research.
Okay.
And actually probably get some government funding.
You think?
Well, at least state funding. Let's see, Taco Bell is going to make their own chips with different flavored sauces, and it's going to be in grocery stores.
Wait, Taco Hell in the grocery store?
Taco Hell in the grocery stores, yep.
Herb? I think I just threw up a little. in my
A little
mouth.
bit in your
Yeah.
mind.
Right, because I'm not. Normally Taco Hell is for when you're drunk, or you have no taste and you're broke.
Yeah, well, I mean, it usually is a drunken thing.
It is a drunken thing.
How about United States? Music subscriptions equal the population of Canada.
I saw that.
Yeah.
People are actually paying.
People are paying for their music, and it's, I mean, to a certain degree, you think about it, back in the day, you maybe went and bought it like a CD or a tape cassette or a record or whatever it was, probably at least once a week, maybe a month.
Right.
Once
yeah.
a week to a month.
Right.
But you would normally go get another CD or, some song you really like, you wanted to go get it,
Now you get just the song.
Now you get everything. I mean, technically, if you pay for like Spotify, you can pretty much listen to any album you want.
Oh, will they play an album from beginning to end
Yeah.
with songs in order? Okay, see, I don't have Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify. I mean, you could essentially do that with YouTube as well. And they have the
Yeah.
YouTube Music thing.
Oh, right. Do you have to pay for that too?
I think like most of them charge at least $10, like the Pandora. There's a lot of these music sites, I guess, that are really big. I know Pandora's been around for a while. That's more like a radio station.
Right.
You can just search for the band and play similar bands to the one that you search for. Which is a good way to find new bands of like ones that you're kind of like.
Right. Something that,
But I think right now Spotify is kind of winning.
it's the market leader.
Right. And they have iTunes as well, so
I'm sorry, if it's got I in front of it,
it probably sucks.
I'm not going to do it.
Also in entertainment news, this was a sad one for me. Bozo the Clown died
Heard
today
that.
at age of 89. So that, made me think, what was your favorite show as a kid that wasn't a cartoon?
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows. Quentin Collins and Barnabas Collins. Quentin was
Okay,
a
I think
was a
I remember
werewolf.
now.
Barnabas was a vampire. They were a cursed family. Now,
Barnabas, yeah.
it was basically soap opera for kids.
Right, and I think they eventually ended up making a remake like in the 90s.
Oh yeah,
or-
they had Johnny Depp or some kind
Yeah,
of crazy
maybe
crap.
something
Oh,
like
that,
that.
no.
Yeah, Johnny Depp just like, do
He
anything, huh?
wouldn't you? If
Yeah.
they offered you that kind of money,
20,
wouldn't you?
25 million a movie, yeah.
I'd do it.
Right.
I'd do it in a
Sell out
heartbeat.
real
I'd
quick.
sing, I'd dance, I'd get paid.
How about Deadpool 2? I had read a couple weeks ago that like apparently they had a screening and it didn't do well and they had to reshoot scenes, but apparently it's got higher scores than what the first one did. And it comes out May 18th.
May 18th, my almost youngest daughter's birthday.
Aha! Deadpool.
Deadpool 2.
And apparently they're bringing back in a lot of the X-Men. Like,
Well,
they're
now
having
they
the
can.
X-Force.
That the
Sony
yeah.
had the rights, I
Yeah.
believe, but I think their time is maybe run up or something,
or somebody bought somebody.
somebody
Right.
bought it, or,
Right. It's
but
all-
the X-Men are going to start working their way back into the Disney storyline,
Right, because now we've got the X-Force.
the X-Force, which I read through all the members of the X-Force, and the only one I really knew was Colossus, who was in the last one.
Right.
They had a couple that I'd heard of before, but I'm just not familiar with their character. But they have a team. You know.
When did you quit watching? Not watching. When did you quit buying comic books to read?
Probably when I was maybe a freshman in high school, something like that, or sophomore.
Okay, so you've missed a lot of
The storylines.
Yeah.
You know, but I even always kept up kind of with the storylines. I just didn't buy the comics and collect them like I did when I was younger.
Now, when I was in high school, I collected the Howard the Duck comics.
Ah, yeah. One of my favorite movies.
Oh God, that nasty fucking thing.
As a kid,
but
yeah.
but thank God for Guardians of the Galaxy because they brought Howard the Duck.
They brought Howard the Duck back,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize that whenever I watched the movie that, oh, there's Howard the Duck. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, it's just now. I do buy graphic novels upon occasion.
Sure.
Neil
Well, I mean,
Gaiman's Sandman series.
Well, I always enjoyed like the Batman novels and the Supermans and you know, like Superman died and you know all that
Yes,
stuff.
the death of Superman.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Wah.
Also, Captain America. Yeah, Chris Evans. He said he's going to not be Captain America after Avengers 4. So they have the Avengers. I guess it's like the Infinity War. Or
Infinity
whatever.
War is next. Right?
That's coming out this year, and then I think next year the Avengers 4. And they say that a bunch of the characters are going to die off, but they're going to have something happen with the bad guy that's going to basically reset the universe.
Okay, we talking about Bucky Barnes, the bad guy, or some?
Not Thanos, but they're having I can't remember who they said was going to be the bad guy of the final one.
Okay.
But it's going to reset the universe, and they're going to have like bring in all new actors to play like Iron Man.
So we need to find another rich white playboy. We need to find another
a new
Wolverine.
I think Wolverine's actually going to be a girl because of the storyline with his daughter.
Right.
And,
Poor
I mean,
Logan.
Yeah, poor Logan. I mean,
Logan.
Wolverine was always one of my favorites. Hopefully, the girl will be badass enough to, qualify
The
as Wolverine.
self-healing thing is just what gets me. I want the self-healing
Right.
thing.
Yeah. Just
I mean,
like
I don't want the
it just-
adamantium claws and stuff. I just don't want to,
Right.
ugh. Well, kind of
Yeah.
like what they did with Deadpool. He's got self-healing. The cancer's eating him up, but he's constantly healing himself.
Well, and I never even realized this, but Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool in one of the X-Men movies, but it was just such a horrible it was such a horrible Deadpool. It was in the X-Men Apocalypse. I think.
Yes.
But it was such a horrible Deadpool at the time, and Ryan Reynolds was not happy with it because they didn't have anything for a Deadpool script yet, but he wanted to play Deadpool and had been talking about it.
Right.
So he jumped at the part. But they just did it god awful. It wasn't anything.
Wait,
like
wasn't that the one where he did his little samurai sword whack, whack, when the bullets
Well, like
were
his
flying?
arms became swords and like the
Oh,
sewed his mouth shut.
over the top of the
It was
that was bad.
It was bad.
That was bad.
It wasn't Deadpool.
He had a head left, and evidently Deadpool can regrow his whole body
Right.
from just from just a little head.
From just a little head. We
It's
all love
amazing
that.
what a little head
It's
will do.
amazing what a little head will do. How about that? Let's see. Okay, we've got on this day, we've got funny discussion topics. 7 companies profiting from prison slavery. Whoa,
That's
pretty
right.
deep.
35 cents a day is what they're worth.
Actually, 74 cents a day.
Oh, wow, they got a
74.
raise.
I've did some research here. This article I read, I found it to be relatively interesting because I teach this a lot, to my pupils. My pupils. That, yes, you think slavery is gone? Nope, it's still around today. Only it's debt slavery and prison slavery. Right?
Debt slavery. Yes.
Hello.
If you don't pay your bills, you get to go to jail?
Pretty much, and you have a deadbeat job because your education system sucks, and you're in debt from your college loans, and
It only
we're
took
not
me 15
educating you
years
for
to pay
the
off my
good-paying
last
jobs.
degree.
Yeah, exactly. So and on and on. But yeah, these prison inmates, which keep in mind, in 1980 there were only 500,000 people in prison in the United States. Now today it's over 4 million. So that essentially jumped 800%.
Right.
And basically, it's the corporatocracy has known that they can exploit these people.
Okay, so are we criminalizing what should be considered normal behavior? Are we over penalizing, with the mandatory minimums and things like that? Your white collar criminals get to go to the country club type lockups, and if you
where you
have
get like 20 years for selling weed or something,
right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. There's corporate incentive to lock people up for longer, and there's been a lobby to actually get longer sentences for smaller petty crimes, and just so they can exploit these people more, and they end up making $75 billion a year off of this.
75 billion.
Billion. It's a $75 billion industry.
That's a lot of money.
So the United States is only 4% of the world's population, right? However, we consist of 25% of the world's prison population.
Wow.
And, so the United States is the number one jailer. And you know what the number one state is?
Louisiana.
Yep.
Somebody got to lock them up.
You're going to wash us away, baby. So it goes to, so these prisoners are making military goods, such as, the uniforms, helmets, some of the different stuff like that.
That seems kind of sketchy.
I know, right?
I mean, would you really want to trust your life to prison-made gear?
Well, apparently they must do it well, or they got to take some lashes,
right. Oh,
you know?
right. You beat them into submission.
Well, just like slavery, kind of, like, whoosh, dance, slave.
Dance, monkey, dance.
So Whole Foods is one of those companies that profits from prison slavery. Apparently they get their tilapia from prison. Or at least they cut the tilapia.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, because tilapia, you raise them in fish farms.
Oh, of course.
Out off of the sewage that drains off of municipal waste plants.
Yeah. Well, speaking of waste plants, McDonald's is another company that profits from prison slavery, in that they use it for their containers. They make the containers for their food.
The little foam or paper folding things?
And the uniforms.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wearing a McDonald's uniform is probably like sort of being in a small prison.
Now it's just like a T-shirt and the black pants, just about.
Is it?
For the most part.
I thought they had to have those little collar shirts.
Some of them have the collars, but a lot of them it's the T-shirt.
I guess maybe
The
whether you're
manager
in
kinda
an
wears-
upscale location or,
Well, it gets hot in the McDonald's. I can understand that.
Somebody got to fry
Walmart,
those.
which you didn't really mention any of the products, but I'm sure there are tons of products from Walmart. Let's see, Victoria's Secret.
Wait, what?
The female inmates make their like the lingerie and stuff for Victoria's Secret.
Whoop, whoop.
And apparently they had some kind of scandal where they had, said made in the USA tags, like when it was really made like in some kind of like Guatemala or something like that, and in a prison out there from the women prisoners.
Hey, who knows what's going to be more comfortable, a man or a woman?
Exactly.
So let the women make the lingerie.
Even if they're in prison, only making crap a day.
Crap a day, that's right.
Let's see, BP. A bunch of prisoners went and cleaned the oil spill.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
AT&T.
Cheap labor for shitty work.
AT&T, the call centers. Next time you get a call, somebody harassing you from AT&T, ask them if they're in prison. Because apparently they're running their call centers because people want to talk to Americans.
Right. You do not want to talk to Panji.
Exactly. So if you want to talk to American, you might just have to talk to somebody in prison because they're only getting paid $2 a day.
Damn.
Yep.
And that goes to their commissary fund, right? Where they can get food and snacks.
Buy some cigarettes or something,
I don't know. Do they even let them smoke in prison anymore?
Who knows? You can't smoke anywhere.
You can't smoke
Maybe
anywhere.
they let them vape. They can save up and buy a vape.
Maybe.
I don't know. Can you kill somebody with a vape? I'm sure you can use it as a weapon.
I'm sure you could figure. I mean, I could kill you with a pencil, but I'm not gonna. I mean, do we get writing implements in prison?
Is that a threat?
No, I'm just asking. Do we get writing?
Do we need to have a duel?
Oh, don't make me go John Wick on your ass.
I challenge you to a duel. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways. Aramark. Aramark? I don't know that company.
Aramark, they make uniforms.
Uniforms. Oh, well, what do you know? I guess they just have some quality fashion designers in prison.
Oh, well, I guess, no, you give them the patterns, they just...
Right,
yeah.
and so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
A
So-
needle pulling thread. Okay, sorry.
So.
Too much Sound of Music for me.
So we sew.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so.
and we were singing. Speaking of singing, Kevin Seconds of 7 Seconds,
7 seconds.
38 years, non-stop performing. They've decided to pull the plug.
So 7 seconds, does that mean like he didn't ride the bull for long enough?
I think so.
Okay.
Because
He was close.
he was an angry young punk.
Okay. He was angry because he couldn't stay on the
He
bull.
couldn't stay on the bull for the full 8 seconds.
Okay.
But he's been angry for a long time, playing and getting paid. And you
And
know
getting
what?
paid for playing.
And as
nothing-
long as you're getting paid,
Oh, I would sell out real quick to go like
Yeah.
on the road just to play music, and
just can't wait to get
I
on
will
the
go
road
sing you some
again.
pop crap if you want me to.
Ooh, pop crap.
Pop crap. I'll go sing country pop.
Country pop. Okay,
You're
as long
a
as it's
song,
not
you make
Demi
me wanna roll
Lovato.
my-
Somebody came into my establishment
of
earlier today.
establishment.
Yes, the basement in which
If
I
you're still
hide
watching.
and disseminate illegal, thought-provoking texts. And he was talking about a song. He said it was a rock song that he was going to sing. And I'm like, who is it? And it was a fucking country singer. And it's like, how is that a rock song?
Oh, is it Day?
Yeah.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
That's it.
He's a blues singer.
Is he a blues singer? I
He's
thought he was a
blues.
country music singer.
No, he's blues.
Okay.
And he does like the blues guitar kind of thing. And,
Right. But how does that rock?
well, because you rock out on the guitar.
Well, I could rock out with my
You know that song,
scalp, and
Blue
that's-
on Black, Tears on a River, Push on a Shove, don't mean much. Joker on Jack. Yeah.
Okay, that's him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not rock, but it's good,
That's the song
but it's
he's
not
actually
rock.
Yeah, it's been played on rock stations.
Really?
Yes.
Evidently, I listened to the wrong rock
You know,
stations.
even they even play like when it was a new release. I remember they played it on like the oldies kind of station, the classic rock station. So you
Classic rock.
know, and they
oh
play
my
all of my
God.
old music like from the '90s and on classic rock stations. So we're just there. Okay. How about this day in history? This day in history. All right, we got
And
a
in history, what happened?
in history, 1622, the Powhatan was the first Indian massacre, where 347 killed, and I think it was the first time the Indians maybe massacred some of us.
Good.
Yeah,
I mean, we sort of did like just
we probably
move in and
massacred
take.
a lot of them first.
I mean, we moved in and sort of took their land,
sure.
and what they
And
got,
probably-
and then they fought back, and then we fought back, and we killed more of them because we had better armament.
That's how it went.
Yeah, well,
You know, and they tried to make peace with us. They offered us their turkey and yams, and all the pilgrims had a happy Thanksgiving together, and they made little hand turkey drawings.
hand turkey drawings. If that doesn't bring two cultures together,
You
what
know.
will?
And then John Smith was, hooking up with Pocahontas. And
I'd poke her Honest too.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. He poked it all night. In 1630, not too long after, the first prohibition of gambling in the United States
No.
was in Boston.
because gambling's evil.
Maybe so.
Because gambling is
Corrupt. It's
Yeah.
dirty.
it's not a good Christian virtue.
Well, and that was about time they were hunting for Salem witches,
Yeah,
right?
I'm just thinking that we got to find somebody to prosecute.
Without a doubt. 1765, this is big in the history books. The Stamp Act was the first tax on the United States from Britain. And
Right.
no taxation.
Without representation, baby.
Librarian here. Let's see. 1790, the first Secretary of State, who was?
Seward.
Bigger name.
Oh God. Franklin.
Tom Jefferson.
Oh man.
Close.
I know.
Close. Franklin,
If I'd have thought
Jefferson.
about poking Sally Hemings, then I would have gotten.
Of course. 1794. The United States banned vessels supplying slaves to other countries.
1794.
Right.
I guess that meant they were trying to stop the
Don't bring the slaves there, bring them here, is maybe what they were saying. Because we got to have us a war in about 60 years.
Let's have a war. Yes, we all need the
And
space.
they planted, that's what a lot of our forefathers did. They just planted the seeds for all these things that are going to happen 50 to 100 to 250 years later.
That's because you don't think things through.
Well, these Masons did.
Oh, so conspiracy. The truth is out there.
It's real fake news. You're going to hear it here first, folks, and other conspiracy sites, maybe. Let's see. 1861, the first nursing school was chartered.
1861. It wouldn't happen to be Clara Barton?
I didn't recognize the name, so I didn't write it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see.
She's not famous enough for us to know her name.
As a famous
our audience
nurse,
isn't
right?
gonna know
Exactly.
her
They
name.
won't know.
And you know what? If you do know, call in because
I thought this one was very interesting. 1872, Illinois was the first state to require sexual equality in the workplace.
wow.
100 years before its time.
Wow.
I mean, Illinois has always been somewhat of a progressive
Yeah.
state as far as, I mean, they're just they're their own kind of breed.
Comparatively speaking.
They're kind of like California. They're just their own breed up there in Chicago.
But Chicago is not all of Illinois.
You're right. But Illinois, I mean, especially Chicago, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1935. Get this one. First time blood tests were used for evidence in a court case. So the technology's come a long way. We can
Right.
pretty much scan your DNA and get like what do they call those little swabs?
Buccal swabs.
Yeah. 1946, the first United States rocket left the atmosphere.
1946.
Yeah, so
Did they say
rockets
what
into
kind of
space.
rocket?
It might have. I just wrote rocket. 1954. Ooh, these have come a long way. The first shopping mall in the United States.
Oh, yes. Thank God they're tearing them down.
And this was in Southfield, Michigan.
Why in Michigan?
I don't know. I guess they're big on malls up in that area of the country.
Isn't that where they have
Mall of
the
Louisiana.
Mall of America?
That's in Minnesota.
Minnesota, Michigan, what's the difference?
Exactly. They're northern, they're cold, and they just want to go shop at malls. Hello. You got to go upstairs if you want to tinkle your winkle. No problem. So, yeah, we help out.
Yes, random passersby.
Yeah. Let's see. Finishing up the news here. 1957, Elvis's I'm All Shook Up came out.
Bless my soul, what's wrong with me? My dick is swole up and I can't hardly pee. I got the
Goodness
clap.
gracious.
I'm all fucked up. Ooh.
1960, the first patent for lasers.
You patent a laser?
Well, yeah.
I guess, yeah,
If you
I
create
guess,
a
yeah.
laser and you can patent it,
it,
like
right.
a weapon or something.
Light amplification through
Sure.
stimulated radiation?
Speaking of lasers, happy birthday, William Shatner.
Oh, God, you know the meme. His lingerie line. Shatner panties.
Shatner panties.
Somebody's got to do it.
Hey, ladies, would you wear some Shatner panties? I think you should. Let's see, other birthdays.
Thank God we saved that for the end.
Reese Witherspoon. How about this? She's born in 1976, so 42 years old.
1976.
Yep, and I didn't
Gee.
realize this. Reese Witherspoon was actually born in New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah,
So she's like a homegirl.
yeah. And I guess maybe her and Ellen are friends, I guess.
Ellen
DeGeneres.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is Ellen a local?
Ellen's a local. She's from New Orleans as well. Grew up and raised.
Right. Is Reese out or is she just a friend of Ellen's?
Well, I guess people assume that Reese Witherspoon was born in Alabama because she was in that show Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, okay.
But 1989, famous football player J.J. Watt, he actually won the NFL Man of the Year as far as he did and a lot of donations for The hurricane victims over in Houston.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his name again?
J.J. Watt.
And what team did he play for?
The Houston Texans. He was like
The Houston Texans.
he was
Are
like the
they still a
defensive
team?
MVP a couple years ago. They are a team.
What team were they before they became the
The
Texans?
Houston Oilers. And then the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee and became
And
the Tennessee Titans.
Yes. Okay. But
And they used to have the New
So
York
the Oilers
Titans.
went away, and then they put a new team in Houston.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it.
pretty much. That's kind of what happened in Cleveland too.
Right.
Like,
They flushed the Browns.
the Brown they didn't take the Browns to the Super Bowl,
No,
ironically
no.
enough. But they went to Baltimore and became the Ravens.
Wait, the Browns became the Ravens,
The Browns became the Ravens in Baltimore.
and evidently they're more successful as the Ravens than they were as the Browns.
And the Browns just had a new team. They've sucked ever since.
So maybe it's a Cleveland thing.
Well, I mean, Cleveland won its first sports championship a couple years back when LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers won the NBA Finals.
But isn't that a different sport?
It's a different sport, but like they haven't won in baseball, they haven't won in basketball or football or anything.
So except for b-ball, they basically suck.
They haven't won anything since the 50s.
Damn.
Hey, and it was like that here in New Orleans until the Saints won the Super Bowl and back in 2010, you know.
How long had it been that they
Never.
Never?
Yeah.
For how many years?
The Saints had been a team for over 44 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I don't follow sports ball.
And they were losing at least 30 of those years, you know. So
Is that why they called them the Aints?
the Aints, indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Because the owner at the time didn't care whether they won or not because people would still go to the games and drink and have
Mm-hmm.
fun. But then Tom Benson took over the team early 80s, which, by the way,
Oh, didn't he
that's
die
the news,
recently?
yeah. Tom Benson recently died. Very sad. Moment of silence. Who dat?
Pour out one for the homie.
Yeah, this one's for you, Tom. Thanks for all the winning, turning the Saints around to a
Yeah.
winning team.
Memories in the corners of my mouth.
Playoffs. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do it on that. How about funny discussion topics to end the show? We've got about 4 minutes left here, folks. So, what is the funniest name you've ever heard, Mo?
Okay, there was a documentary on the Vietnam War, which included the dragging in the Cambodians, and there was a fella who didn't, of course, speak English, so they had his name and they subtitled all his stuff, and his name was PHWTA space PHUQ with a little deal over the top. So it looked like, what the fuck?
And that's how it was almost pronounced when you sounded out phonetically.
Right.
Wow.
For me, that's
That's got to
Going,
be.
yeah.
That's got to be close. For me, it was a set of twins that I went to school with in elementary school. In Central Louisiana, of course, LaWasha and LaDrya. They were in my brother's grade and in the same class together and stuff. But yeah, definitely interesting name choices.
I taught some twins. I taught Monique and Unique.
Monique and Unique. You gotta love it.
They're
You gotta love
identical
these
twins.
names.
How can you name one identical twin Unique?
Let's see. Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. How about if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your family have say you have done?
Drunk and disorderly.
Drunk and disorderly? For me, probably maybe being pulled over and, for something like that. Operating under the influence. Or
Now,
something.
20 years ago, it would be different
It would be different. It would be different.
because I was much more disorderly, and I wasn't usually drunk.
All
But
right.
that-
Well, now we behave ourselves, of
yes,
course,
we
all
grew
the
up.
time.
We grew up.
We did. Let's see. What set of items should you buy to try and make a cashier feel uncomfortable?
Oh, a great big tub of Vaseline, a case of Magnum condoms, and a handle of cheap vodka.
And some cucumbers.
There you go. If that doesn't make them squirm,
And maybe some tampons. Just, throw that.
Ooh. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
always awkward, too.
yeah. See, that never bothered me because if you're buying tampons,
Well,
it means there's
people
a
gotta
lady.
buy
I
them. You know,
know.
sometimes guys gets into the store by their ladies to go buy the dang tampons, and you got to understand that. Usually,
No shame in my game.
oh hey, usually the woman at the little register will give you a little nod, like you're doing the right thing. You know.
Thank God for that, because otherwise I wouldn't get the nod.
Well, exactly. What are you gonna do? Stick it in your arse? Let's see. What would be some fun alternatives for countries to duke it out instead of war?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Like have our whole countries go at it in a game of
Just
dodgeball.
pick Switzerland. We line them up. And those rubber balls, make sure you inflate them so that they're hard, so that when they whack them in the face,
Hard balls to the face.
hard blue balls to the face.
Blue balls. Well, our balls would be red, white, and blue balls.
Right, but you got to inflate them hard because you want that red mark to show when you've actually beamed them.
Of course, of course. And I guess the last one here, we've only got about 30 seconds. What if animals talked? Who would be the rudest animal?
My cat.
Probably the cat. The cat would be like, "Screw you! Where's my food? I'm going to walk over here.
Feed me, business.
You know, I'm gonna go rub against you, but don't pet me though.
Right.
You know.
That's right. I'm going to show you my belly, but if you touch it, I'm going to slice your arm into bits.
Right. And you know, hey, I'm gonna wash your stinky cat. That's all we can say. You know.
Oh yeah. No.
Only 4 seconds
stinking-
left, so we gotta go, folks. It's good business. Bye.
And we are out of here.
Yeah, I believe so. We're still probably streaming. On,
Well, in that case, no, we're not going to do that in public.
Hey-o.
Shake, 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 Laura.